Hello, and welcome to my very special subject about direct democracy in Arizona. Today, we're going to delve into fundamental concepts of initiatives and referendums. And we're going to explore their creation process as well as compare and contrast these two democratic tools together and discuss the pros and cons associated with each one. And finally, after all of that, we're going to examine how initiatives and referendums align with the core principles of direct democracy in the Arizona Constitution. So let's get right to it. The first things first, let's establish the basics. An initiative is a legislative process that allows citizens to propose new laws or change existing ones. On the other hand, a referendum is a mechanism that allows citizens to vote to approve or reject laws that have been passed by a legislator. Now that we have a basic understanding of what initiatives and referendums are, let's explore how they came into existence. So initiatives are typically initiated by gathering a specified number of signatures from registered voters on a petition. Once that threshold is met, the proposed law goes to a ballot for a public vote. A referendum, on the other hand, can be initiated by citizens by collecting signatures to challenge a recently passed law and forcing another public vote to either approve it again or reject it. So let's compare the two. Let's compare and contrast these two things and let's get a better understanding of them. So while both these parts of the the Arizona Constitution law empower citizens to participate more directly in the legislative process, they differ in the goals that they seek out to meet. So initiatives propose new laws, while referendums either approve those laws or reject them, or reject existing ones, per se. Initiatives are more proactive, while referendums are reactive. Initiatives create something, referendums go back and say, we want this, or we make something new and get rid of something old. That makes sense. So let's go over some pros and cons of initiatives and referendums. So they're both democratic tools that empower the citizens to be more involved in legislature. Initiatives empower citizens to address issues directly, bypass legislations. However, critics have argued that this can lead to some laws that are poorly crafted. But that's where referendums come in, because these provide a check on legislative power, but opponents claim that this check can also delay necessary legislation or lead to a repeal of actually beneficial laws. So there are some pros and cons to both these things, even though they do help citizens be more involved in the politics of their state. Now, as it comes to the end of our little talk, let's talk about how we can connect the dots from initiatives and referendums and align them all back together with direct democracy. So, the idea of direct democracy in the Arizona Constitution essentially emphasizes citizens' participation, and initiative referendums exemplify this. So, direct democracy essentially is we want our people in our state, to be more involved personally in how legislation gets passed in our state. So they created initiatives and referendums to exemplify this principle by allowing citizens to directly shape the legislation that governs them and ensuring that the government is responsible and responsive to their people, to the will of their people. So as we come to the conclusion of our little talk, I want to talk about how it's evident that these tools play a crucial role in fostering direct democracy. While they come with their challenges, their ability to empower citizens in the legislative process stays a cornerstone of Arizona's democratic principles. Thank you for joining me today, and until our next merry engagement, stay informed and engaged in the democratic process.